of you who are curious, some of you are like, hey, Keto Mom, I actually don't know your name. My name is Stephanie Milkey. Welcome. Today we're going to dive into a concept we're going to talk about something called 1% better, 1% worse. Really, I want to talk to you real quick about what it looks like to either hit your goal or not hit your goal. Truly, the reason why you might never hit your goals. It's a pretty simple concept, and yet it can seem boring. It might seem monotonous. Like when you're done creating your vision boards as you're going through the rest of this year and you're dreaming and believing for greatness in 2023, that's amazing, right? And if you understand this one thought or this one concept, it will keep you going for the rest of the year so that when you get back to the end of 2023, when you get to the end of 2023, you've actually hit a goal. That's what we're talking about today. So I would love to know, as you're tuning in, tell me where you're tuning in from. I and my amazing husband, Steve, our 4 daughters live in Minnesota, where I say Minnesota because currently it is below zero. Quite lovely. No, it's pretty amazing. Hey, we've been going through this book called Dream It, Pin It, Live It. So honestly, for the last 60 days almost, we've been talking about dreaming, creating vision boards, the new year, what that's going to look like. We've already done that. If you are creating vision boards, if you have questions about how to create SMART goals, if you have any questions just about how to hit your target, what does that look like? I have done lives and videos for the last 60 days. You can watch them on Keto Mom Secrets on Instagram. You can go to YouTube. We're on YouTube. You can go to Facebook, Keto Mom on Facebook. We even have a podcast called Keto Mom Secrets. There's no shortage of places to go listen and learn, or you can send me a message and I would love to help. Now, I wanted to give you one thought as you are, like if you're listening or watching live, it's Christmas, right? So if you're listening and you're watching it at this current time, I want to know, answer below, like, are you already ready for Christmas or are you like, listen, I've got 2 days. I am a last minute person. I'll get it done today. Maybe you're one of those people. I have a couple of those people in my family and I'm like, man, I've been done since November, kind of. All right, let's dive in. So here is the topic, or here's something I just wanted to give you a thought about around as you're setting goals, as you're thinking about the new year, as you're thinking about maybe New Year's resolutions, or what do I want to achieve this next year, is this: why small habits make a big difference. So we are not going through this book in its entirety. I'm going to read one paragraph to you because we've actually already done this book. It's called Atomic Habits. And in this book, it talks about the basic building blocks of creating habits, creating systems for you to hit your goal. I'm not going to read all of it to you, but if you actually want to grab the book, it's incredible. Or I've actually already gone through this book. If you go to ketomomsecrets.com and you click on book club, I've done it over and over again. So you can for sure go and follow along and actually go through the book with me over on the blog. But I want you to hear this one thought or this one concept. And I do have a visual for you if you're actually watching instead of listening. And here it is. It is easy to overestimate the importance of one big defining moment and underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. So once you decide, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to get our finances under control, I'm going to have a better marriage, I'm going to have a better relationship with my teen, I'm going to whatever it is that you're working on, right? I'm going to work on myself this year, whatever it is. Then you've got these SMART goals that you set. And oftentimes there's this big revelation of like, I'm going into this year and I'm going to accomplish this. And that one thing might seem super big and you're like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to lose the 50 pounds. I'm going to do date night every week. I'm going to listen more than I speak. For me, it's easy for me to go, I'm going to do an unassisted pull-up and stretch every day. I've said that actually for years. But then it's different when I actually write it down on my vision board, which I have it on my vision board. I put the action steps behind it. And then here's the kicker. Like I've got this great vision. I've got these goals I want to achieve. I even have the actions underneath all of them. And then we get to the day in and the day out. And we get to the part of life where, oh my goodness, that was so fun. That was so amazing. I had this big goal and these big dreams. I have all the actions. And then what do I have to do to actually achieve these goals? Here's what it is. The author, James Clear says this: too often, we convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. Whether it is losing weight, building a business, writing a book, winning a championship, or achieving any other goal, we put pressure on ourselves to make some earth-shattering improvement that everyone will talk about, right? Oh my goodness, have you seen her? She's doing this, or I don't even know what it is. But like we feel like it's got to be this huge action. When in reality, he goes, improving by 1% isn't particularly noticeable, but sometimes it isn't. Okay, so we're talking about 1% better, 1% worse. I've actually talked about this on the page before. Here's the thought. Every day, after your vision board is created, the new year has started, we're back into the flow of life, all of the holidays are done. You're going to be in this spot day in and day out where you have choices. And every choice that you make, think about it like this: 1% better, 1% worse. I get up in the morning and I either hit the snooze or I actually get up with my alarm clock. 1% better is I get up and I start my day. 1% worse is I hit the snooze button and maybe I sleep in an extra hour. Does that affect your day? Maybe with your mindset. Does it affect all of your goals for the rest of the year? No. And then I get up, 1% better, 1% worse. I either eat a donut, eat the donut, or I choose to have eggs and sausage. 1% better, 1% worse. Does that make you gain 25 pounds in a week because I chose the donut instead of the eggs? No. Then I go to work, and instead of packing my lunch, I decide to go out to eat. 1% better, 1% worse. Instead of packing my lunch, I went through the drive-thru. Am I going to gain 10 pounds this week? Probably not. You have to understand that the little things that you do every single day are 1%ers. And you might not get acknowledged for it. In fact, you won't. You might not feel super excited about it. You might feel more sore because you went to the gym than actually feeling better about yourself. You might be like, why am I doing this? I'm actually not, it's been a week and I haven't been able to do an unassisted pull-up. That's me. I'm like, I have been doing all of the things. I haven't been doing the right things, but I've been going to the gym. One of our CrossFit coaches came up to me and I was doing some pull-ups. And she's like, hey, I think you're ready for a lesser band because I use a band to help me pull. And I was like, I'm just going to do these. I know I'm going to be able to do an unassisted pull-up like all by myself. And she was like, if you actually want to do the pull-up by yourself, you actually need to be doing this. And I was like, really? Like that one move every single day will get me to where I want to go? And she's like, yes. And she goes, I need you to just do 10 reps every day. It was like jumping up to the bar and slowly letting myself down. Jumping up to the bar. It's a backwards pull-up, right? And she's like, Stephanie, you will be able to do one before the end of next year if you actually do this every day, 10 reps a day. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay. I've been doing the wrong movements. I've been doing the wrong things. I have been doing something, but not the right thing to get me to where I want to go. And in reality, it's also super easy not to do that because if I do 10 pull-ups, if I do 10 backwards pull-ups today, great. Am I going to be able to do an unassisted pull-up tomorrow? Probably not. If I don't do the 10 pull-ups today, is it going to affect, in my mind, I'm like, it's not a big deal. I just missed one day. But it's the one day over and over and over again. It's easy to not to do it. So this is what he says. I need you to understand the power of the 1%ers. He goes, the difference a tiny improvement can make over time is outstanding. Here's how the math works. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better than the time before you were done. Conversely, if you get 1% worse each day for the year, you'll decline nearly down to 0. What starts as a small win or a minor setback accumulates over time. I hope this 1% better, 1% worse. Is this making sense? I want you to look at this graph real quick. There is a graph that explains in the book, this is Atomic Habits, how if you choose better every day, even though somebody's not giving you a gold star, and even though you might feel like it's not really doing that much, even though you're like, I'm not seeing the results that I want, and maybe it's been 2 months, right? Guess what? Over the course of a year, which in reality, when you're setting goals, and we're talking about SMART goals, and there's things that you want to accomplish this year, it might take a year. It might take 6 months. And if I get up every day, and I work on 1% better, which could be The one percenters, not hitting the snooze, reading for 5 minutes a day to work on my mindset, things that other people don't see you do, making your bed, little things that create healthy habits, right? Packing your lunch, going to the gym, me walking upstairs to my gym in my home, doing those 10 pull ups every single day. People aren't going to see me do it every day. I don't get a gold star for doing it every day. I might not feel like I'm progressing, but over the course of a year, or even like if I do that every single day, surely I'm going to get better than when I had not been doing that. Does this 1% better, 1% worse make sense? I love the concept because in general, I'm going to read a little bit more to you and then I'll be done. He goes, this can be a difficult concept to appreciate in your daily life because you feel like, am I actually achieving anything? I don't feel the big wow effect, right? As when you were excited to set the goal. He goes, don't dismiss the small changes because they don't seem to matter very much in the moment. If you save a little money now, you'll still not be a millionaire. If you go to the gym 3 days in a row, you're still out of shape. If you've studied Mandarin for an hour tonight, you don't get to speak Mandarin, right? We make few changes, but the results never seem to come quickly. And so we decide to backslide. Then we decide to not do it. Then we decide this isn't working. You have no idea how many people I have messages sent to me on a daily basis of like, I'm so frustrated. I've tried all of these diets. My fat loss isn't working. One of the first questions I ask people is, how long has it been? From like diet A to diet B to diet C. How long have you been working on this? How long have you been doing keto or low carb? How long has it been? And usually the answer is, well, it's been a couple weeks and I haven't seen any change. Hey, it's been a couple months. And I'm like, oh my goodness, please. Expectations are, I know you're excited. Vision boards and goals and SMART goals and setting all these things is exciting. But it's the day in and the day out to where this isn't overnight. The expectation with anything, whether it's finances or relationships or making money or job change or fat loss, isn't overnight. And it's the 1% you do every single day that people don't see, but you know that you did, that will get you to a different place in a year. And it might not even be a year. But in general, your mindset should be, I'm committed. Are you committed to the 1%? So as you're going throughout your day and as you're making choices, I just want you to ask yourself this question. Is this 1% better or 1% worse? Because if that's all you ask yourself, you might find yourself making better decisions, right? As you go to hit the snooze, as you go to skip the gym, as you go to eat that, or as you're going to go discipline your child, think to yourself, what would be the best way to discipline this teenager? I'm not, or encourage, right? Like, I'm not just saying discipline, I'm just saying for those who want better relationships, because that's actually a big goal for a year for people, is relationships in their marriage, relationships with their kids. 1% better, 1% worse. Am I going to react or respond? That's a huge awareness to learn. And so I just want you to understand this, that he goes, but hold on, I want to read one more thing to you. The slow pace of transformation also makes it easy to let the bad habits slide in, to sleep in, skip the gym. A lot of people love to drink in the evenings, and that's really a conversation I've had with a lot of people about fat loss, giving into temptation because they're not seeing results. If you work late tonight and ignore your family, they'll forgive you, right? If you eat unhealthy meal today, the scale won't move. If you procrastinate and put your projects off until tomorrow, there will usually be time to finish it later. A single decision is easy to dismiss, but when we repeat 1% error day after day by replicating poor decisions and duplicating tiny mistakes and rationalizing these excuses, our small choices compound into toxic results. It's the accumulation of many mistakes, a 1% decline here and there, that will eventually lead you to a problem. So, all I want you to think about today, and you might not even be in the mindset of like, listen, I'm just getting ready for the holiday. I hear you. Hey, I'll focus on my goals next week. I get it. And you've heard this. So I often tell people, I love to share wisdom that I have been shared with. I love to share things that I have learned, because once you know something, you know it. You know it. You might not know it as in able to express it, but when you hear something, You might not actually take action on it, but you have the awareness now of, oh, like I tell people, I've told you a lot. If you're not hungry, you don't need to eat. Hey, I've told you many times, ask yourself, am I bored? Am I hungry? I've told you, if I asked you, do you actually know how to lose weight? If you've been on this Keto Mom page for a couple of years or even 6 months or however long, like we talk about the basic building blocks of losing weight. My guess is you actually know what to do to get to where you want to go, right? If I were to say, what do you need to lose weight? I'm going to say drink ketones and work on lots of different things, right? But what I want you to understand is there is no shortage of information online. And I'm going to guess that you don't just follow me, you probably listen to other people as well. So we've become this like collecting all of this knowledge and all of this wisdom, and you've heard a lot of things, then it's taking the action. But I tell people, we have friends, and I have a friend specifically that if I say something, he's like, don't tell me, because if you tell me, then I'm responsible for it. Don't tell me. I'll be like, hey, no. And he's like, I don't want to know because then I know, right? So I'm telling you, if you listen to this, you know the power of small habits. You know the power of your day in and your day out. You know the 1% better, 1% worse because I told you. And now, as you go throughout your day and you're making decisions every day, you get to go, is this 1% better or 1% worse? Is this going to help me long term with my goals, or is this going to get me further away? It's all about awareness. It's all about commitment. You can totally do this. Anything that you've got on your vision board, you can do it. You just need to stick to it in the mundane day, in and out, decision making, 1% better, 1% worse. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. This is the book that I was reading from. We're not going through this entire book called Atomic Habits, but I just like to take little pieces from it because it's really an insightful book. And if you really need actual steps to help you with setting goals and habits and creating systems, I would highly recommend that you get the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's all I have for you. So thank you for tuning in. Your presence matters. I love it when I see you comment. I love it when you send messages. I actually got a really sweet message from our podcast this morning. If you are on the podcast app, you can go to Keto Mom Secrets. Super sweet messages. I love that. Thank you for reviewing it. Thank you for all the messages on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. I 100% appreciate it. You can always privately send me a message and I'm here to help. Have an incredible day and we'll see